This is Allison hanging out in my space to craft. And I just finished another of my rodeo pages, actually 2 pages, but I just wasn't feeling the scraps for a card. I've made several pretty masculine, brown themed cards. I just wasn't feeling my scraps for that. So I pulled out, this has been sitting on my desk. I said I would make a card out of it sometime. I had was really just testing out my watercolors, my metallic watercolors. And it's pretty enough for a card, I think. So I went into my scraps and I found this, and it's actually a sticker. Looks like it's a sticker paper. So I'm going to use this as a background. And then in my pink scraps, I found this real pretty pink, which looks good with the paper. So I'm going to use this as a mat. I had a ready-made card base in white, which is appropriate. And this stamp set is an Altenew stamp set, and it was actually a kit or a bundle that came with, called Sweet Bouquet, and it came with a set of stencils, which I haven't done the stencils yet because I used my watercolors, but it includes the dies, so I don't even have to fussy cut this. And it had a nice birthday sentiment. So I'm going to use the dies to cut that. And I think that there's a die for the happy birthday as well. Yes, there is. So that is going to be great. So I'm going to stamp this, trim these. I just pulled out a little scrap of white paper. Now I am going to rub this a little. Looks like I've already used this stamp once. I do like it a lot. And we are going to stamp it using my VersaFine Clair Nocturne. It makes a nice dark, and I had embossed this when I stamped it, so I think I will emboss this as well. So let me get my embossing stuff out so it's ready to go. So when I'm doing black, rather than embossing with black powder, what I like to do is stamp it in black and emboss it in clear, and then you don't have to worry about spillage or little black sprinkles getting all over the place. So that seems to work well for me. I know there are several other people who do that too. What I will do though is stamp this a couple of times just to make sure it's good. All right. I should do a couple of these while I'm over here, but maybe while I have the stuff out and I'm done, I'll do another 1 or 2 and then put them in my little stash. So I'm going to go heat set this and then die cut both it and the flowers, and I'll be back. All right, so for the assembly part, I just sped it up. Just to 2 times. It didn't take me terribly long because it was relatively simple. But at the end, I ended up fussing with my Nuvo drops, my new Nuvo drops, and getting them open. So I've cut that part out. And then this part, you guys are familiar. standard A2 card, so I'm cutting the mat to 1/4 inch smaller than a standard A2 card. So 4 inches by 5 1/4, so that mat, and then this sits inside it, so it will be another 1/4 inch smaller. So I'm getting 1/8 of an inch at each, all the way around for both of these mats. And this paper is a sticker, actually, so it comes already with adhesive. There's a little bit of something on there from sitting in my binders, I think. So you only have one chance when you're dealing with these sticky sheets. So I was lucky enough to get it correct on the first try, and then just figure out what direction I want it. And I'm going to pop up both the flowers and then pop up the sentiment as well. You just have to be careful where you put the adhesive on the sentiment so that it can sit on top of those leaves at the bottom there. So I have a huge roll of Scotch adhesive, foam adhesive that I've been working on. I've had it probably for over a year. Of course, I don't use it constantly, but it's lasted really well. And I like the depth of it. It's a little deeper. I'm not sure what the number is, but it's a little deeper than some of the other foam stickers I have, but it also sticks better than, like, I have scrapbook.com that I use a lot, and they're not really as sticky, which is good if you want to move something around. This Scotch is really not getting moved around once it's down. So I put this on there completely, and then I realized that's not going to work. So let's wait. I think removing the backs off adhesive, sticky foam adhesive, is one of my least favorite things, especially the small bits or when you have full coverage like this. It's just a lot. I need to use my adhesive sheets more often. Less fussy peeling. So here I'm just going to put some adhesive on the ends so that it can sit flat on top. I'm not looking for additional dimension here. So it's a really simple card because I just had a play with the stamp and earlier in my watercolors. So this was sitting in my bin and kind of ready to go. And after I did this card, I did make another happy birthday and die cut it. So it's sitting in my little sentiment bin as well and ready to go for a future card. It makes card making easier when you have a few supplies ready at hand. So next comes, I sit here and I think, oh, let's add some Nuvo drops. And oh, look, I have these pearlized pink Nuvo drops. So I'm just checking it, making sure it's flowing well, and then add a few little dots. So here we go, back to real time. All right, sorry about that delay, you guys, from me not knowing how to open a bottle. So because I had this already done, that turned into a pretty quick card. So please like and subscribe, and come back for more paper crafts.